Everybody, so back again, 2 videos in one day. Sorry, but the one I uploaded this morning I recorded yesterday, and today I went to the shop. Went to 2 shops. Excuse me, technically three places that sold comics, but I'm not buying comics at the shop up the street anymore. I'm done with them, but they do have a bunch of cool stuff. I almost picked up some of the Batman Adventure action figures. They're pretty neat. I dig them, and I love that cartoon. And they totally look like Bruce Timm stuff, so that's cool. If you're into that kind of thing, I just thought it was cool. It's kind of like one of those nostalgia things. So let's get into what I got today. We'll start with the stuff I picked up for the lady and one of the kiddos. Let's see. We got Lumberjanes Beyond Belief #1. I flipped through this. It was kind of cool. This is Finding Molly, an adventure in cat sitting. She picked this up just because she thought it was cute. I started reading this before I was recording, or before I started recording here. I got like halfway through it and just kind of wandered off. The art's cute though, but I don't know, it's a bit much. I read this. This is awesome. This is the source book for Liberty Meadows. The independent shop that doesn't bag and board anything. They have a bunch of Liberty Meadows. And they just picked up a complete Marvel collection. Everything between the start to like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. So they're displaying some of the nicer books in the shop, which I think is kind of crappy. It's like they have this gorgeous copy of wow, Hulk 181, but it's not for sale because it's part of the collection, next to like their X-Men 1 and their Giant Size 1 and Iron Man. It's like they're just bragging about all these books they own rather than, I don't know. I think he just wants to sell it all at once. That's fine. This is Jim Henson, the Storyteller's Witches, book 4/4. And I guess there's the dragons too, like Jim Henson, the Storyteller Dragons. We have a couple issues of this, and the other one was really cool. I enjoyed it. So this is another series. I may have to track these down for my lady. This cover's really cool too. Jeff Stokely did the art. Super cool. Munchkins #11 for the kiddo. Cool. I found the last issue of Concrete that I needed. This is The Human Dilemma #4. Stoked to have that. And then I found a bunch of, well, let's get to this too. This is The Goddamn #1. I liked it. I don't read Southern Bastards, and I haven't read a lot of Jason Aaron's stuff. The first couple pages of this book, like prose-wise, script-wise, I should say, not prose because it's not prose, was a little, the dialogue was a little confusing. Like, I was confused at first about why the little kid, if you guys have read this, why the little kid knew that Kane had been in the shit pond all day. You know, I got the impression he just kind of walked over to take a piss, but I guess he's just standing there all day. I don't know, that was a little confusing. This was interesting. I read it like twice, and I don't usually do that. It's like a hit it and forget it kind of thing. But this might go on the pull. I think issue 2 is already out, so I may need to track that down. And Strange Fruit issue 2. Totally bummed out I missed the boat on this. This was great. I don't have issue 1, but I can fix that, I'm sure. This was something else I picked up at the independent shop that doesn't bag anything. But this was great. This was great. I will definitely track the rest of these down. Saga #32, one of the 2 books that was on my pull this week. I haven't read the last like 4 issues of Saga. I guess they're back together. That's cool. And I made a huge dent in my Grant Morrison Animal Man. They had a lot more Animal Man at the shop, but it's the same thing. none of their stuff is bagged unless it's like over $4, I think is their magic number for bagging a book. And everything that is under or isn't bagged is cover price, at least cover price. Unless it's less than cover price, and then it's $2, if that makes any sense. So they have like a $1.50 comic, like some G.I. Joe or some Transformers or something from the 80s. They're asking $2, and it hasn't been in a bag since the 80s, and it's been rifled through since the 80s. So the upper top of all of their books is like jacked up. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see it, but like this, the bottom 90% of this Liberty Meadows is in great shape. But the top is like, it's not white, it's all banged to crap. I was like, trying to talk my lady out of buying it, but she said she didn't care. But it's just, it's like dingy and dirty and just beat up. And it's the same with all of these. Well, this one's not that bad. No, this is pretty bad. This is Animal Man number 10. And it's fine here, and here, and here. But the top is like shredded. And I don't understand this guy's like business practice when it comes to doing this with his books. I mean, they don't bag anything. You know, it's crazy. And this is the same crap that they've had for as long as I've been there. And it's like you feel bad digging through the boxes because you're like, I'm going to wreck these books. They're in there too tight. I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. I put a lot of this back. They had a lot of Animal Man I was missing. But I put it all back because I was like, I'm not sure this is worth $2 in the condition that it is. Because I'm sure I could find, you know, 50s and 60s and 70 issues. You know, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70 issues of Animal Man. Cheaper than $2 a piece and in better shape. Oh, sucks. 25. Stoked to get into these. This has been some of like the best stuff that I read this year. J-Rocks and Cammy, Reader 1717, we're talking about getting together and doing another chat and doing like a year in review kind of thing. And this is going to make my like top 10 things I read last year, the Grant Morrison Animal Man stuff. If you guys have the opportunity to pick it up, I highly recommend it. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh yeah man, Grant Morrison's Animal Man was the shit, I can agree with you on that. Number 16. Excuse me. Number 15. And these Brian Boland covers, man, they're worth it. Just for that. I remember when these books first came out, I would always stop and look at the Brian Boland covers. I had no interest at all in Animal Man when these were new, but I remember these covers. And last but not least, issue 12. Cool beans. Last haul of the year. I'm happy. Alright. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you guys next year.